So you've been in a relationship for 6 years.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had sex?
It happened. I'm sure that you would want me to share this because the time you people pray the most is when the desire comes. In my mind, I'm like, just put ring and finish the work.
Let me eat you.
God forgive me. I'm sorry.
I've done it again.
Do you get? I've moved on. It's two of us. We are the criminals. Let's compare our hand to the back before God. Let's do long distance in the same city. Because it happened with us. I feel like in our relationship, this has been the toughest part of our journey. Sometimes, if it's weak, me I can be weak too.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to episode 2 of 20s Uncensored. Yes, you know how we do it. My name is Ifeoluwa Oni and I'm the host of 20s Uncensored. And in today's episode, we have the one, the only, the only one, drum rolls, the Lami Ade. Global. Don't forget to have it. And the reason we have this woman, before we finally, because I have certain questions, is because there's experience.
Yeah.
She's going to be speaking for, it's not head knowledge. It's personal experience. Do you get? So, we're going to be talking about that. But before we do, if you are yet to subscribe,
Please.
what are you doing? And by the way, the Lami Ade has a YouTube channel and it's called the Lami Ade. So please check out on YouTube. Awesome videos. You won't regret it.
Yeah.
So subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, leave comments in the comment section. Let's know if you've experienced it or if you have more questions. I'm sure she'll be there to answer and to reply your comments as well. And without further ado, let's get started.
Hi guys, my name is Lami. My actual name is Olamide, but I'm known as Lami Ade. I'm a content creator, a YouTube content creator, and Instagram content creator. I'm also an entrepreneur. I have a business called Sanora, and my business handle is sanora.ng, where I sell rattan items and generally interior decor to spice up your space. Then also I am a freelancer. I work as a digital marketer, basically, and a social media manager. And yeah, I basically have two businesses. One is on the way already.
Hey.
Okay, so I've been in a relationship since 2017. I've been in a relationship for 6 years now. It's been a journey basically. I think I would call it a journey because it's not just something or somewhere. It's not something somewhere I just arrived at. Like I'm not just on in the 6th year, like just jumped.
Yeah.
I've had to go through different things, roller coasters, happy days, sad days, terrible days, triumphant days. That's why it's a journey, right? And that's what life is. I mean, we started dating as students, even though when we got into a relationship for marriage.
Yeah.
We're not getting into a relationship because, oh, I like you, you like me. Because ours was strictly on the basis of God said. I know that God said is now cliche, right?
Yeah.
Really, it's so cliche now. And sometimes when someone says God said to my mind, what's it today? But I get it because I've been in those shoes. It's been a case of God said, then a sprinkle of I really like this person.
Okay.
I didn't plan to be in a relationship for 6 years or anything. I just felt like, oh, God has called us to, be together, to chase 10,000 though,
Yeah.
and, just go on this journey. But whenever this journey leads us home, it leads us. But we know that at least we are getting home. I just didn't know how many
long
years it would take us because to me, this is the 6th year now. I don't know if I will see God the 7th and the 8th year. It's in the hearts of God.
Okay, yes.
Basically.
So it wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned for 6 years, but it was planned that we'll get married one day.
Okay.
I didn't think that it's possible that I might fall out of love.
Okay.
Do you get? I didn't think that I would feel like I might fall out of love. I just always felt like I would I'm madly in love with this person. So I'll be madly in love
Till the
forever.
end.
Do you get? Forgetting that life really happens and it takes an intentional step to still stand in the conviction that God has given you concerning your relationship.
Okay.
Because there were times where if we had dated for 2 years and gotten married, I wouldn't for in my head think that I can fall out of love for this person. But if I had gotten married, I would see it as a problem. Maybe I'm a bad person. Why am I falling out of love? Maybe I shouldn't have married you. But
Yes.
because I was still, I'm not saying long-term relationship is better than that's not what I'm
We're
saying.
getting
I'm
there.
just saying
But okay.
where me I am coming from, like
Yes.
my own story, my own journey. But because we're in a relationship, I still had time to reflect and say, okay, for me to fall out of love with this, of fall out of love with this person, why? And is it because there are non-negotiables or there are negotiables?
Okay.
Do you get that? Is the reason why I'm falling out of love? Is it something I should be worried about?
Yeah, something that I
Or is
know
it
that.
something I should not worry about?
Yeah, I get.
Now, if I was married
You can't
and
even
I
be
had to,
thinking
do you
about that
get?
again.
So it's like I take what I see.
Yes.
Do you get? So now, because in a relationship, you are not loving blindly.
Shine your
Do you
eyes.
get?
Yes.
You are loving with your eyes open, so you can see it all.
You're dating
Do you get? You are,
intelligently.
you are dating intelligently, right? So there were times I fell out of love, and I realized that because it was really, maybe I'm carnal, because it was really into his academics as at that level. He was so into his academics, so he was not really taking care of himself. For example, he was repeating the same trousers, he was repeating the same shirt, he will not shave his beard. So not like I was falling out of love that I'm like, no, I don't even like you
It
again.
was like majorly
It
the
was like,
physical.
no, wow, just day where you did. Do you get? It wasn't
Yeah.
a matter of I didn't like you, you didn't like me, all those things and all. But it was a matter of I could see that the way I long to see you normally, I don't,
It
long to
wasn't as
see you
much as
anymore and
yeah.
all. Then I asked myself, okay, why? What's going on? And I realized that okay, if it's a problem, maybe I can as well buy him trousers. I can as well buy him shirts. I can as well, do you get? Because those things
Yes.
come in and they are distractions at the end of the day. So I didn't think that that would ever happen. Like, I can bet on my life that I will never fall out of love. And that's why it's important to understand that in relationships, you don't fall in love, you grow in love.
Hmm.
Because I love him better than I've ever loved him. In my mind, when I first loved him, now people say first year is the honeymoon phase, second year,
Yes.
yeah, you pass it, I love this, and everything. But I love him better than I've ever loved him because I have an understanding of who he is. Do you get?
So
Yes.
now we are Christians, we are believers. In
Yeah.
case you did not know, you know now. For believers, we know that sex is for the marriage bed,
Yeah.
the matrimonial bed, and all of that, right? It's not supposed to be done outside marriage. But then God did not say, oh, all your sexual desires, I will keep it in one place.
One
When you
corner.
get married,
You still have to
you
deal
now
with
I will
it.
now put it
This
in your body.
boxer.
Did you get the way we were created, the way we were wired is that you will feel those, you will feel all of those emotions. You will feel, you will want, especially with somebody you really like, yeah,
Yes.
you will want to do all of those things. But then
Yes.
you know that sex is for marriage. So it can be very difficult.
Very
If
difficult.
people, if we are being honest
Very
to talk
difficult.
about it, it can be very difficult. So now, how, because even in short-term relationships, people still have that issue.
It dey happen.
It they happen, you get. So not now talk of going 6 years.
Yeah.
Oh, first off, let's even ask that because we cannot just jump into conclusion, even though she has done a video about it on her channel. But for people that have not seen it, so you've been in a relationship for 6 years.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had sex?
No, we haven't.
All right. Please, I give it to her. 6 years.
It's tough.
Oh my God.
It's tough though.
You have to be strong.
It be tough.
It be tough. Like my pastor will be like, you're like, stop now, stop it.
It be tough. Hey, people shall want to bring the camera out of the but I really want to have this conversation just so that people are saying 6 years, and they're looking at you like a king, a lord, and everything, and think that you are without flesh, right? It's been a very tough journey, like very tough journey. I feel like in our relationship, this has been the toughest part of our journey because we now know each other so well, and the only parts we don't know, we have to keep it for later. And that part is the most vulnerable part. Do you get?
Yes.
And we have to keep it for later. It's tough. However, there were times when, in school, we didn't have sex, right? And we didn't like It's not. I don't want to go deep so
Yeah, I
that
get.
because I have to also respect my partner's privacy
Definitely.
and all. But however, I'm sure that he would want me to share this because he's also a Christian. I think one thing that helped us majorly was that two of us were on the same side. Like I didn't want sex, he didn't want sex before marriage,
Yeah.
but we still desired each other, right? He didn't want like now. There were times I would jokingly say it then just to see because I used to are you not attracted to me? Do you get?
Yeah.
And you will say things like he's attracted to me, but he just doesn't make sense to him that we go outside of God's will for our lives. And I feel like and that thing that really helped us was that we had to see it as honoring God because if you cannot honor God with this just
One
this thing, just this one thing. Because if you look at it in relationship, how many ways can you actually honor God? That one
is
is the
like one of the most
major.
important. Yes.
Do you get? Think about it. How many, where in the Bible did they talk about relationships that they talked about anything that had to do with honoring God? Aside from the normal, be kind to one another, not even in relationship, even to your fellow
Yes.
human beings, love one another as yourself. But that part of fornication was deeply spoken, like fornication is
Yes.
there, is written there. Every other thing applies to every other person and all. Obviously, you're fornicating with someone, you're sleeping with somebody that's not your partner, it's still fornication.
Yes,
Do you
definitely.
get and all? So that's like the major part that really makes like don't. Every other thing, do be kind to each other. You can go out, you can do this, you can do that, you can preach the gospel together. But this one, oh,
Do.
don't. So it's like a chance to actually honor God.
Okay.
So if I cannot honor him this way, do you get my point?
Yes.
If you cannot honor this God this way, I know. And to be honest, over the years, we've seen it as sowing a seed.
Okay.
In the
And what?
sense that we are sowing a seed that it's just like your father sent you on errand. You went, you did the job, and you came back. You can't leave your father's presence empty-handed. Do you get?
Yeah.
So you've sown a seed that you will harvest
Later.
later.
Okay.
So that's how we see it. Now, do we talk about how we prevented some things
Yes, you can
from
go ahead. Yes.
okay, because aside from that, I think one thing that really helped us was that we try not to stay in the same space,
Okay.
but we're in a relationship. We've been in a relationship. Think about it now. We've been in a
6
relationship for
years.
6 years. We still had to be in the same space,
One way or the
one
other.
way or the other. Do you get? We have to talk. We have to spend time with each other. We are longing for each other, right? So we've had to be in the same space, but with a strong that barricade. Self, I don't think they have used that barricade to block the Lagos road before. Because if they visit to block Lagos road before, cars cannot pass. It's a very strong barricade. That when I talk about a strong barricade and everything, obviously you're not cohabiting. It's not. Don't say you're cohabiting. You think you don't feel work. You
It
cannot work. You cannot
can
cohabit
actually
and
work.
to work.
I don't think it
Do
can.
you get? Thankfully, my partner is a very, very someone that likes to obey God.
Okay, yeah.
Do you get? So that has really helped me. So if I want to be weak,
You will be
he will
strong.
be strong.
And
And
vice
if he wants to,
versa.
do you get? Him sometimes if he's weak, me I can be weak too. Oh.
I was going to say that
Do you
because most
get?
of our times when two of you
Some
are
are
weak.
weak. Do you get? So it takes a lot of also giving yourself grace. To be honest, give yourself grace.
Okay.
But you, this thing is quite very, very dicey, and I feel like it's a straightforward thing, but it's also very funny because it can't be like wickedness, but it's also a blessing. Do you get? Because I don't know how when people ask me how we've managed. Sometimes we've managed in tears. Like I can be on my own and I'll be wondering, when you have someone that you marry, you love, you
I already
like
know I'm going to marry him.
I
So
already
like,
know I'm gonna marry him. Do you get? So Oh, what do we find? Nobody knows.
We just
Do
did
you guess?
that.
Nobody
Yeah.
knows. But another thing that really worked for us was you as a person. What kind of relationship do you have with God?
Okay.
Because you can say, okay, God said God does not want this, God does not want that, and we are obeying God and all. But if you as a person, the only way you can build self-control, if you notice, if you have addictions or you are dealing with crazy stuff or you are sad, you are depressed, the moment you take your relationship with God or your work with God more seriously, you tend to not focus on those things anymore. You tend to get healed, you tend to turn away, you tend to focus on more better things, and even things starts to flourish,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yes.
I know. But because you've built yourself, even when you see your partner, all you're saying is, oh my God, what wedding dress are we going to wear? What's your plan? What do you think? What our joint accounts that money that we say we use and do, you're thinking of something else entirely. You're not, even though the truth is that the time you people pray the most is when the desire comes. My partner is the kind of person that when you are burning for God, that's his, sorry bro, sorry bro. That's his turn on. Like the moment you are hot for God, there's a desire, especially for someone who is crazy about God. My partner is crazy about God. My partner is the one that will wake up 3 a.m. and be praying till 5 a.m. And mind you, this is someone that is a doctor, someone that is dusty, someone that is everything, but still his life is completely dedicated to God. Me now, God forbid, if things happened like it used to, whenever we fail, I will pray the next day. We say, but when God said we should come back to he said there
Come
is
back to the throne
grace
of grace.
available.
Yeah.
So I would go. God forgive me. I'm sorry.
I've done it again.
Do you get? I may have moved on. But my partner cannot pray. It's like punishment. There's a lot of things he goes through because of what had happened. So if you're with someone like that, even the fear of him feeling punished, you will not want to like do
Yeah.
anything per se. So, and that question is, what kind of person are you with? Are you together on this journey? Are you both determined? Shebi on my post, you say something like, I miss you
Yeah.
and everything. We are not saying, we have not, it's cuckoo. Life tough. It be tough sometimes. It's cool world. You see why we have not seen. It's been a while we've seen. Now we see, but at least it's a lot better than it used to. This time tell you is like up, down in school.
Yeah.
But this is where we are now. We are more mature. We can handle our
Emotions
emotions
better.
better. And now, because of we are both, my work with God is doing way better than it used to. His work with God is doing amazing. I went to see him, see, yesterday when I was going to work. I branched at his hospital. We saw, and the way he was looking at me, in my mind, I'm like, just put ring and finish the work.
Let me eat you.
Put ring and finish the work. But I get it.
Yeah.
Do you get? Whenever I see the virgin, I know that this guy been praying too much, and he has been saying that I'm praying a lot. There's this desire of, you are not praying a lot. Please go and focus on God first. You'll be fine. Go and focus on God first. That's all that matters. That's because number one, God has to be in the center of that relationship.
Okay.
Do you understand? He's in the center of that relationship. God is in the center. You people are setting boundaries. Do you get? You people know what you want and what you don't want.
Mhm.
And how serious are you with poison? You know they put poison in food. Will you eat it?
No,
So
no matter how
bad
hungry you are.
how bad is that thing to you? How does it look like to you? How well have you described this thing to yourself? The way you describe, oh, we're going to take a walk. How are you describing you people's sexual life?
Mhm.
Do you get, what does it look like to you? To us, it looks like a dirty thing right now.
Okay.
But at the back of our mind, we know what's up.
Yeah.
We are not stupid. We know how this would make our life so much better. But we also know that this is dirty
Right now.
right now.
Okay.
And we see it, we've left it as that.
Okay.
And there's this desire to, because that is there, there's a desire to want to get married. There's a desire to want to get there,
To put in the work,
to
make
put in the
money,
work,
and so that,
make
like,
money. Do you get, you
yeah.
you get more serious. But if you're, that's
if you're
why,
already doing everything before
exactly, there's no
marriage,
ginger. That's why you see people date for 10 years. They've not nothing. But our
and it's not
mind,
like they are not making
they
the
are not
money
making,
and
do
all
you
of
get?
that. Yeah.
And do you get? And again, you will say that sometimes they are slow with their lives. Do you get? Not all, please don't get misquote me. That's why I say if you cannot take it in, just maybe continue watching because it's the first one. Like, okay, I'll say don't worry. But do you understand? We it's like we are, it's like when you cohabit, you is that the right? Because
Yeah,
I know that
cohabit.
when you cohabit, you're seeing, you are, because there's no commitment, there are certain, there's nobody over you to report to. So when things are not going the way they should, you cannot boldly
Go and tell.
go
Yeah.
and tell and say, help me arrange this, so that built in Ben.
Yeah.
Do you get? There's nothing to be arranged.
Okay.
But when you are married, you are under someone, it's under God. Now you know you are in it for sure. You don't get tired. It's when you are cohabiting, you say, oh, all right, what is soon, I'm tired of
I know.
you.
Yeah.
Do
Yes.
you get? Why? Because that commitment is not there. Do you know that there are so many relationships that should be thriving now, but it's not thriving because of
The things
the because of cohabiting. You've passed your boundary. And that's my own belief. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
There's so many relationships that should be thriving, or you should not have broken up. The only reason why it happened is because you've gone beyond
they've
where
gone
you should.
beyond steps.
Do you
that they
get
should
my
have.
point?
Yes.
It's just like someone that knows that she shouldn't be using sex toys. This everybody's this thing is not like I'm saying my own no. Do you understand? But you know that truly you don't want to use sex toys. Yeah. However, you know why you don't want sex toys. Probably if you use sex toys when your husband is not around, you'll be able to focus on sex toys more. And when it comes, it probably won't
It'd
do
be like
well
a
enough for
second
you.
choice or
It'll
something.
be like a second choice. Do you get? That's how you see now. That's why you don't want to use sex toys, because you know that you don't want this sex toys to affect your
replace
marriage and
yeah.
replace your husband, right? However, if it happens that you don't stand by why you want to do this, you masturbate, you start using sex toys. Before you know, what happens at the end of the day? You and your partner cannot. I'm not married though.
Marriage counselor.
I'm not married though. He said that many times. Hey, my mom will be saying, yeah. But really, do you
Yes.
get? We're all adults, right?
But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, less than 18.
Less than 18. So now let me ask you a question. So what happens when two individuals that are actually Christians and believers fall? So we said we don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But we did it.
Yeah.
Well, should we break up? What happens next?
No, don't break up. Especially when you know for sure that this is it for you guys. How bad can it get?
You know, sometimes they say when you taste it once,
you want to
you
continue,
are
right?
even more tempted than someone that hasn't tasted it.
Maybe because I haven't had sex, so I can't really talk on that sex part. So that's why I'm like, how bad is it? Because I've made out, and I know.
Maybe we should use make out as an example now.
Yes. So for something like that, that's who are you reporting your relationship to?
Okay.
Do you get? Why are you reporting your relationship to? Because the fear. You don't have fear of God, Abby. At least there's somebody guiding you. There's someone you can tell that this is happening. You won't even want to do it again because you don't want to keep going back. You don't want to keep embarrassing yourself.
Okay.
Even though this person, my pastor will receive me well, or this person will receive me well, you don't want to still keep going back over and over and over again because they're not God.
Yeah.
They'll receive you well, but they're still not God.
They'll begin to look at you at a point.
God bless you. It's God that will say, "Come, my daughter, what's it to share?" Come, my daughter. Come, my daughter. You still bear the consequences, Sha.
Last.
Because what if you get pregnant? That's a
What
consequence.
you get?
What if anything happens? That's a consequence.
I said, Baba, now I'm just like, wait for it.
Do you get a hair? So that one's safe. So what happens is two of you also talk about it. How bad do we want to get better? How bad do we want to not do this thing?
Okay, we've done it, but
How far do we want to go? Is it that bad that I can't even see you like this? Everything have changed. Black is now, white is now black. Black is white. You know what? Let's not see again. Till further notice. Let's do long distance in the same city. Because it happened with us.
Okay.
Let's do long distance in the same city. Let's not see. Because now you are not seeing, you are longing for each other. Now you have time to pray. You have time to think. Now you have to, even when you don't want to pray, because there's nobody to touch. Your mind is somewhere else. Now you're working, and before you know, you're on Instagram scrolling and you're hearing Apostle Joshua Selman speak. You are forced to go to that link to go and listen fully.
Mm-mm.
Do you get? The only reason why nonsense is happening is because two of you are idle. You are there. Are you both there and doing the same work? No. You are there and you are talking, you are touching. You are hiding. You don't have work now. Do you get? There's no work happening around you.
Okay.
But when your mind is busy, you are somewhere else, is somewhere there. You long for each other in a. You say if you feel the fresh air, basically, then pray about it. Like pray about it. Pray for help, because it's not by our strength, not by our might, but by by the Spirit of God. It's when you pray about it, there's a certain, like, for someone, I always say, for someone who deals with addiction, if you deal with addiction, the best thing you can do for yourself, aside from setting boundaries, is to pray for yourself. And like, don't just pray for yourself. Create a marathon prayer. Do a prayer, whatever. Marathon for days, back to back. You are praying. You are praying. Your flesh will calm down. Why? Because now you are being equipped spiritually.
Your spirit, man.
Do you get? And you've exactly. Do you get? And there's so many things. Instead of your vain things are not just in your head anymore. You are thinking about the vision God had shown you. Are you telling me you pray for 30 days straight and God did not show you anything? No, you didn't pray. You can't pray again. Do you get? Now your mind is refocused on something else. Now you are praying that you don't fall victim of this anymore. But while you are praying, you are also attaining an opportunity. There's a job opportunity coming for you.
There's an idea.
Do you get? So it's 1 for 10.
Okay.
You are dropping 1 to receive 10. But some of us will leave the 10 and go and focus on 1. Do you know how empty you feel when you become a slave to sex? Have you ever been there where all you do is make out? All you do is have sex. You do it the first day, second day, third day. You can't even focus on work. You can't focus on anything. You are weak in your spirit.
And because you have a conscience.
You are weak in your flesh.
You feel like when you are done,
you can feel it.
You feel very bad.
Some people don't even feel bad. I promise you.
And the conscience has...
You've taken... Today it has happened, Otilo. Second day, Otijelo. Third day it has happened, it has gone. But there's something for sure that you feel. Not your conscience. You will feel your flesh go weak. You know, say you mess up and sleep like you don't have work. Your like, forget conscience self. Your mind, everything cannot just, you can't think well. Well, it's too killer, it's too back to, you don't have anything to do. It's too back to back. Like, how, be serious with yourself. Why am I here? What is causing it? What are the triggers? Is it because we are seeing every time? Is it because we are always, just be real with yourself.
Be real.
The first, you have to be very honest with yourself. You and your partner have to come ashamed. Don't say I don't want to talk about it because you're ashamed. Are you okay? You are the culprits. Two of you are the criminals. It's two of us. We are the criminals. Let's compare our hand to the back before God. I don't know if you get my point. And let God speak to us. What happened? Most of you mess up and now say you want to hold hands. Go and build. Do you think why you're messing up is because of two of you? You think it's just by praying together? You yourself, what do you carry? What do you carry? How can what you carry and what I carry jam together? What will it produce? The reason is because there's um levity here. You're taking your life for levity, your spiritual life for levity. Take your spiritual life for what will it produce in the first place? You're not praying, is not praying. So when last do you remember that you said you should honor God with your body?
Mm-hmm.
Do you get? But when you're on fire, you can remember that. My body is the temple of those. You remember it's there, it's somewhere, some do you get? Some people, when bad things even want to happen to them, they even Jesus, they can't remember any memory verse, they can't remember any Bible verse. Sorry, I'm dramatic. But do you understand where I'm coming
Yes,
from?
I do.
Because that thing is not it, you've not eaten the word enough.
Okay.
You are not deeply rooted. But when you are deeply rooted, I'm deeply rooted, what comes out of it? You are thinking of ideas, I'm thinking of ideas. You are thinking, so I don't know what I've said in this video, but I know I've really come honest with you guys. I've tried to, really break things down.
And I think it's important to understand that honesty, because there's also like being honest with each other
Yeah.
about what your weak point is.
Exactly.
So now I might not know that
exactly.
if you don't tell me that this is what turns you on, I might
Yeah.
not know. And
Yes.
I'm just doing it for play,
Yes.
right? And it's turning you on, because I remember another video that I've seen, Stalwart Lovers, where they
Yeah.
talked about like how they went through their dating phase.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you tell, I think it was him that said his breast that turns him on and all of that. You get? So, and then you tell yourself that okay, and then you being honest with yourself, you sit down and say, okay, once you see that you're already getting turned on, tell me,
Mhm.
so that we know that okay, it is time to, oh yeah, bye, be going to your
Yeah,
house, then be going to my
exactly.
house and all of that. Because
Exactly. So
like
be
you said,
open.
long distance might not do it.
Yes,
It's just
not balance.
being honest with yourself, building
Yes.
yourself, and be able to say, okay, it's time.
Or
Be
go
going
and
home.
marry.
Or get married. My pastor also
Somebody.
get married. Go and work,
Go and
make
marry.
money, and get married.
Get
All
married.
right. If you were to say, if you were to advise somebody
Mhm.
and say, I'll advise you, long or short. Like, what advice would you give if somebody was asking you, okay, so what, based on all of these sexual temptations, trying to hold on and all of that, would you advise me to just do short term or do long term? Because some people say don't do short term, you have to know each other very well before you get married. But some people say do short term so that you know that at least you can now do all you want in marriage. So what kind of advice would you give, long or short, and why?
I mean, they've put me in a tight spot. But to be honest, I would say short. Because everything that I learned after, like, all those 2 years, and I could say I've learned it in marriage, to be honest. I could say I've learned it in marriage, right? And just that it would have been bad if I had non-negotiables there.
Okay,
do you get?
yes.
That's just the down part where we are now committed to each other, and now it's like
What's it war?
war and all, and it's not, and obviously maybe it's not a do or die affair. Do you get?
Okay.
Maybe it's not domestic violence and all that, but maybe something we can work with. But I could have jacked off on
Normally,
it
you'd have
fast,
preferred not to, yeah.
not to go through it and all. But for every other thing, the circumstances, I mean, that's what built us to now. If we're in a short term relationship and all, I mean, there's no need for you to prolong your sin. Prolong next year. Thank God for maturity. That's why we have not mature reach. Do you get? But there's an active street dam to not. Do you get?
Yeah.
And all, or like when we're younger. Do you get? And all, but I will still say it any day, anytime. If I just, if I like, if God had said this person is for you, He did not tell me the person, and He kept him for me because I don't want any other person apart from Him. I would have said,
Verse.
I would have said, okay, no problem. Let's not be in a relationship.
Yet.
Then let me meet you now and date you then, and because there were so many things we may not would have if we are not gone through it together. Like, I mean, there were times we went through a lot of hiccups and all, but he could have gone through it on his own and it would be fine. I mean, he's God's child as well, and I would have gone through mine on my own, and I'll be fine. But God's will is very key. Like, God needed us to be in each other's lives
During that
at
period.
that time, and there was no way we could miss that. But if it's by my power,
To peak.
I would have said 2 years, 3 years max. And let's move
So
on.
thank you very much,
You're
global
welcome.
woman. Thank you
You're
very much
welcome.
for being very vulnerable, being very sincere, and
Yeah.
actually like telling us as it is. So we really appreciate it.
You're
Let me know
welcome.
if you appreciate it in the comment section.
Thank
Drop your
you.
comments and all of that, and she would also be in the comment section.
Section.
Hurry to our YouTube channel to subscribe. The link will
Subscribe,
be in my
guys.
description and even in the comment section.
Thank you.
So hurry there, subscribe. See, don't you want more of this? You definitely do. All right, guys. Till next time. Bye.